All right. Why do I enjoy being alone so much? Full disclosure, I couldn't really tell you the exact reason, you know, but one thing I can tell you is that it's that humans are creatures of habit. And my habit, my whole life, has kind of just been going solo, you know? I've always been a very closed off, isolated person. I was never really the type of friend like reach out and be like, "Yo, you want to go do something?" Or I'm not the type to go out of my way to go to a party or something like that. I'll go if I'm invited. And sure, it's like I go because I want the experience, but I don't. But the thing is, I've been to a few. They weren't great, you know. I'm sure the parties themselves just weren't great, but I just feel like even if it was a good party, I don't know if I would enjoy it that much. Because for me, I kind of just all I see is just a bunch of. To me, I'm kind of a clean freak, so to me, I just see a bunch of sweaty people in one room drinking, and I'm like, yo, that's low key kind of nasty. But I mean, I can definitely see where the appeal is if you're with like some really like people you really care about, people you have fun with. I get the appeal. But back to the lonely or like being alone thing. So I got some cliff notes here. So yeah, I've always been like this ever since I was a kid. I've always just been, I always kept to myself. I always did my own thing, and it's because growing up until 11, I was the only boy and I had four sisters, so I was like kind of just naturally isolated there. So, and I mean, luckily for me, I got my own room. So, thank fuck. Oh my gosh, if I did, no, I mean, I guess I did have to share, but for the most part, I had my own room. So yeah, I was able to keep to myself. It was cool. All I had was it was just me, my creativity, and my TV shows and my movies, and I guess that's kind of what cultivated my basis as a person now because that's kind of the same thing it is now, you know. I stay. I don't go out. I don't reach out that much to my friends. To the friends that I do have, but yeah, it's really just me, my movies, and my TV. Like I just made a Game of Thrones video. I just made an Odyssey video. I just made a Doomsday trailer video. Like that's the shit I love. I got like fucking like 20 posters of superheroes on my wall. Like that's what I like. That's me. And I'm completely okay with that. But I feel like the fact that I did spend so much time by myself, I was able to cultivate my own personality in a way. And I never developed that kind of thing where I need it, where I couldn't not be, where I couldn't be alone, where I couldn't not be distracted by someone, having someone pay attention to me. Like I kind of wanted the opposite of that my whole life, always. And yeah, so like when I'm by myself, I feel like I'm at my most productive. Obviously, I feel like that kind of applies to most, if not all people. But yeah, like all my video editing, stuff like that, shooting, filming, writing, just brainstorming ideas, stuff like that. I feel like I get like my best thoughts, my best ideas come from that. And I feel like when I'm by myself, I have the ability to just discover more things. That's what's so beautiful about the internet is that you kind of have access to everything. So like in a video I did, I've been like making myself listen to some new music and new artists and stuff like that. Discovery, I wouldn't be doing that really if I was with my friends. My friends would probably be like, Nick, get the shit out of here, bro. Like, see, and which is fine. I get it. I'd be the same way. I'm not trying to listen to Edward Skeletrix, bro. Like, I get it. And yeah, but I feel like one thing that's important for people to have, like an important skill is the ability to be alone, to be comfortable with yourself and to love yourself and to have self-respect and to actually give a fuck about yourself, really, really. And a lot of people who don't have that, I feel like those are the types of people who need to surround themselves with others so that way they can focus on them instead of themselves and their own demons and stuff like that. And I'm not sure being all introspective and shit. I don't know that much about the world. I don't know shit, but like I do know that the world is a very different place than it was like 30 years ago, right? Even 10 years ago. Shit, even 7 back in 2019. And I still remember that very vividly. I was only 12, so, it wasn't that long ago for me. But yeah, I've found the ability to have fun by myself. Because low-key, I'm a bit of a tweaker. I'm not gonna lie. When I'm by myself, I'll be doing some weird stuff, bro. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna get into nothing that weird. You're probably thinking of some weird stuff. But those are all the really, like, the upsides, I guess. But there are definitely downsides. For one thing, you kind of, like, sure, you're alone, you're happy, but you also kind of have like this, it truly is like a crippling loneliness, and it's kind of a hole you can't really dig yourself out of because, you spend so much time alone, you kind of forget how to interact with people. And I feel like that's what happened to me. And obviously, I can still have a conversation with someone about it. I mean, like, in the same way that the average person does, because I feel like I'm not like the average person who is my age. But maybe I am. And I'm just, like, and it's just one of those things where everyone thinks they're more special than they actually are. And it probably is just that. But, yeah, I don't know. And, you know, those 2, 3 a.m. thoughts, they get to you, bro. They get to you, man. I mean, it's not great. It's not great. I don't like feelings. They're not fun. But shit, that's being human. But yeah, and I feel like you might be much more prone to getting sad or even angry, maybe. But I feel like I'm relatively emotionally stable. I'm just in a weird spot right now. I'm kind of in a going through it, but you know, it is what it is. And then there's also the jealousy aspect of other people's social lives that I've noticed in myself, where everyone else, and I feel like, you know, comparison is the thief of joy, as they say. And I feel like this isn't a unique experience to me. This might be a universal thing. But just to varying degrees with different people my age, where it's like you see people posting themselves, they're dressing up, going out on a Saturday night to the clubs and shit like that. And like even my own boys, they did that. And I get it. They live closer. They live closer together, but an invite would have been nice. But it's cool. Like I ain't tripping, because realistically, I only want to go just to say I've gone, you know, to the club. But I don't really want to go, but I do at the same time because I've never been, you know, and I feel like that's some experience that I should have, because I am a very hermit person. I stay in my shell, you know, very closed off, very introverted. But I have my extroverted moments when I fuck with you. But you know, yeah, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, just be okay with yourself and try your best to be happy with yourself. Don't beat yourself up if you feel like you're not, you know, socializing as much as you should. You know, definitely try to socialize. It's very important. But and this is kind of me talking to myself too. But yeah, just don't be so hard on yourself. It's gonna be okay. You got time, especially me. I got time.